We are here in the Fireside Lounge. It is our Oakland University hockey first half semester wrap up here. Greg and Justin Cousineau here with you. And Justin, first of all, overall thoughts on the first semester?
I thought the team took a little while to develop what they exactly wanted to do as a team. The coaches had an idea of what they wanted to do on and off the ice, and I think it just took the freshmen and the younger players a little too long just to get that going and try to really understand the systems and put those into practice.
Now, the big thing for Oakland this season was goaltending for the first half of the semester. You know, the goalies struggled a little bit, Colin Chase and Alex Bakunis. The second semester, hopefully Chase is back to the form after the big Liberty win that they had, but obviously the Grand Valley game, he struggled a little bit. But what are your hopes for the goalies here in the second half? Because obviously they're going to need both Bakunis and Chase to step up and be really good.
Exactly. You want both of them to step up to their A game. You know, they both have the ability to make, big stops and in crucial moments in any game against any team for that matter. And we've seen that in the past with Colin Chase, and we've seen that a couple times with Bakunis so far this season. So basically you want to just, if you look at the pro teams, you got a lot of these 1-2 combination with goaltenders, and you really want to put that into practice maybe so far here in Oakland, and you have the ability with the two goaltenders you have.
Yeah, that's the other thing that you have to have, because your goalies are going to have to make the stops because, as you know, there's going to be a couple of games where the freshmen and all the sophomores that are on the team just don't have any. You don't have enough upperclassmen to be able to compensate for that, so you're going to definitely need those guys in terms of the goaltending, most specifically Colin Chase, because Alex Bakunis is a freshman, and we do have to realize that, to come out and have a very good game. Now, let's move on here a little bit to the defense. Overall thoughts, I thought that defensively, Dennis Kappa had a nice first half of the season. I know you would like to disagree with me on that, but comment on the defense a little bit. Brian Jacobs has been phenomenal, and it's good that he's going to be able to come back in the second semester. But overall thoughts?
I thought the defense was a little different from what we saw last year, especially with guys like Nick Rank, Colin Renee, and Jared Samp off to a little bit of a slow start. Even from the shots from the point, moving the puck around. We've seen a lot of times so far this year, even guys like Jared Samp, unfortunately, just can't keep the puck into the zone. And you really want to try and keep it in there for longer than a few seconds. Get the puck moving, pass it around, get the forwards in position. And you want to look for those shots from the point. We've seen that a lot so far in the past couple weeks. Nick Rank taking some hard shots, Colin Renee even taking a few there, and Jared Samp also. But back to the defense when it comes to moving the puck from their own zone to the offensive zone. I think too many times we see one or two players, like I was saying, Dennis Kappa and Brian Jacobs, both good defensemen, both good in their own aspect. But I think one too many times they'll take the puck from one end to the other. And what happens is you'll leave the forwards on the blue line sitting there waiting. Is he going to dump it? Is he going to cross over with it on his own? And we're going to kind of chase in with them. And it really kind of throws certain players out of position, and especially with the younger teams, a lot of these younger guys aren't going to really understand what to do, and they're going to get confused on where their positioning is. And I think that's one of the things that defense needs to kind of work on not doing so much.
But at the same time, to defend Kappa a little bit here and to defend the guys that are pinching forward, don't they have to do that? Because at times the offense has struggled, so don't you need a guy that can be able to do that for the defense to create chances? Because Kappa has had a couple chances this year, and he's created those chances, and he doesn't get burned. So doesn't he have to kind of do that? And the same thing with Jacobs. If Jacobs can do it well, can't he and shouldn't he do it?
I don't think they have to, but I think it's good when they do, and they do not get burned. When they do produce points or when they do produce opportunities for other players or the forwards or whether it's another defenseman, I think it really helps the team out, kind of, inspires the younger guys, the freshmen, to really kind of be like, okay, well, let's try and do something like that. Let's try and put this together for ourselves here. But I think just one too many times you'll see it happen from, time and time again, and then throughout the entire game, and then it's almost like a routine where, as soon as guys like Kappa or Jacobs, they got speed, they got good hands, they have the ability to try and make the play, open the ice up a little bit, but I think when you're just carrying the puck from your own end to the other, throughout the game, like I said, it doesn't really generate any rhythm for the forwards on moving the puck into the offensive zone and through the neutral zone, because that's one of the big things that this team struggled with this year.
Let's talk about Colin Ronayne. He was used screening the goaltender here a lot of times. I know that we had a player that played here last year, Todd Orlando, that was able to do some things out there. Was obviously big, huge body out there. Rones is the same type of player that's able to do that. It hasn't worked out yet so far, but it's one of those things, Justin, that I want to see them continue to do because, if you have a big body like that and you can screen the goalie, you need to utilize it. We've also saw Jared Samp and some of the other guys play up front. When things got kind of desperate, they did a lot of different things, did the coaching staff, and it's good to see that they're able to make those adjustments. But talk about Rones, his play this season. I thought he struggled a little bit so far, and I just think he needs to get his legs, get a little more speed in him, and he's going to be fine out there. He doesn't make too many mistakes out there, but he has made a couple mistakes this season, Justin. But your thoughts on him, their use of him on the power play, and then generally how he's doing defensively?
Yeah, especially when it comes to the defense, you're really going to notice the mistakes more than the positives. It's just one of the things that happens in sports. I think a couple of the mistakes that he has made was just bad clearing attempts, shooting in front of the net and kind of leaving Cousineau or Colin Chase, whoever, high out to dry, and then it just kind of creates a big turnover in front of his own net, and it's kind of puts them out of position. But I think positively for him, like you said, he's been in front of the net a couple times trying to screen. I think the first 2 times was nothing but a waste because the forwards had no puck movement, no one was circulating it, no shots from the point or from any side of the face-off circles. But the past couple of games, I think it was against Grand Valley and against Liberty, they've tried that, and it helped out a lot. I mean, they didn't get any points off it, but they got a couple shots, a couple screening attempts, and he was able to bat at the puck a couple times with the rebounds. He had a slower start offensively for himself, trying to get shots off, and defensively I thought he was kind of out of his element there. He just wasn't doing what he was doing last year that we noticed a lot, and wasn't using his size to his advantage in front of the net. But I think now a big thing is you want to try and clear bodies out in front of the net without drawing penalties, and he did that very well near the end of the season.
Nick Rank's a guy, sturdy defenseman. We've seen him struggle at the beginning of last season, and he got himself back together and just became Nick Rank. He's not going to do anything flashy, but he's not going to make the big mistakes either when he's on his top-of-the-line game. He's going to get a couple assists here or there. Your thoughts on Nick Rank? Because I think Rank's a guy that, beginning of the season, especially, Justin, I thought he struggled, and I thought toward the end of this first semester, you start to see signs of Rank being Rank. He's just that sturdy, solid veteran defender that you need out there.
Yeah, looking down the roster, there's very few seniors. I think there's only about 3 or 4 at tops. And Nick Rank is a very well-composed player. He knows what he's supposed to do. He knows where to be, what to do. A couple times he may have found himself out of position, but didn't panic. And we've seen him skate hard, back to help out his goaltender and made some big defensive plays this year. And that really helps out so far, especially with the younger guys, especially on the defense. And he was moving the puck really well near the second half of the semester there, and making good hard shots from the point, which is something he got away from earlier on this season. And as the semester started to close out, we saw some pretty hard shots against Grand Valley and against Liberty from Nick Rank.
Brandon Krefsky's another guy on defense for the Golden Grizzlies. He's new this season, a freshman. He's a guy that he's found himself scratched a couple of times up there with us in the gondola with Steva and everything this season. We love Steva too, don't we?
Yeah, we do. Steva's good. It helps a lot, even for us sometimes, because you can, when they get the players that are scratched, filming it, and the coaches have the ability to show, certain players, you're doing this wrong, you're doing that wrong, and try and stay away from this. And or they'll even show for the positives, this was good, keep that up, kind of thing. But in Krefsky's defense, I mean, a couple times he's found himself, making the right play, making the right pass, here and there. But just too often that he was making bad clearing attempts, passing in front of his own net, and just trying to carry the puck a little too much. It's really not his game, it looks like, from what I see. And I think he needs to start, maybe just passing the puck out a little more, just kind of make a breakout speed for the rest of the team.